Hi, Mike here, building up my second set of wheels for my 2019 Cannondale SI. I have dedicated race tires on one set, but want a separate set for mud tires. So just getting into wheel building now, and thought now's a good time to build up another set. What I'll do is I'll go through the components for the wheel build and kind of the reasons why I decided to use those components. Just go over the tools I'm going to use for the wheel build, but I won't actually show the wheel build here. Maybe I'll do that in a separate video. And at the end, I'll weigh the wheels, and it'll be interesting to see where the weights come in. Okay, on to the components of the build, and probably the most exciting part, at least to me, is the rims. These are Light Bicycle 29-inch RECON rims. This is my second set of rims I've ordered from Light Bicycle. The first was used for this, to build my a set of dedicated carbon fat bike wheels for my Rocky Mountain Suzuki Cube. And that build went well, and I haven't yet ridden it, but we'll do so in a couple months. But this is the RECON version, which comes in actually two separate versions. They have a 280 gram flyweight and a 360 gram standard. So this is the flyweight version. Even at standard, it's a super light rim, but at 280 grams, that's one of the lightest rims, lightest carbon rims I've seen. And the price point on it is phenomenal, as is with a lot of the Chinese rims. I spent a lot of time thinking about which rims I should order. I was definitely looking at Chinese direct-to-consumer varieties, but there are different ones available. Yo-Yo, Windspace, Nexty, what else is there? Yishun Bitless, I think it's pronounced, are some of the higher-end Chinese varieties that I looked at. So for the hubs, not as exciting. I'm going with what I have now, which is the Lefty 60 Supermax hub. Really out of convenience. It's a decent hub, and there's not a lot of varieties, options out there for lefties. So sticking with that. For the rear, I'm going with the DT Swiss 350, and this is for the X-Driver 12-speed Tram Eagle. So this is 12 by 142 version. For spokes, I'm going with Sapum race spokes. This is with the J-bend as opposed to the straight pull. I've used them for the previous wheel set. It's a steel spoke, so pretty standard, but a higher end spoke. DT Swiss makes good spokes as well, so either are fine. If I was building up a road wheel set, I might actually experiment with the carbon fiber rims, but for mountain bike, that's still pretty rare, and the steel spokes are good and don't add that much weight. For tools, I have my touring stand, which I just got from AliExpress a couple months ago, which has worked out great. I have a dishing tool to measure the dish on the wheel. I have my spoke tension, my Park Tool spoke tension meter. I'll do that at the end to see what the tolerance is of the tension in my spokes when I complete the build. I have a spoke wrench, I have a few of them, not sure what size this is, size 40, but fits the alloy nipples with the spokes. I have this adapter which will allow me to mount my lefty hub onto my touring stand, so I had to buy that, especially for this, which is a bit of a hassle, but wasn't that expensive. What else do I have? I have the manual that came with Light Bicycle, which is actually really good. Has a lot of useful information on the build of the rims, as well as wheel building tips, so that's good. Also have my thread lock for my spokes, so I'll apply that before I build the wheels. And that's about it. So let's go down to building the wheels and see how it turns out. So the wheels are now fully built. The front wheel right here. and the rear wheel here. And the build went really well. The rim is very uniform and symmetrical. No visible defects, and nothing that made it difficult to true the wheel. Actually, these turned out to be fairly easy to build up overall, which is great. And I was also able to get some really tight tolerances in the final build. If I look at the final build on the wheels, in terms of the wheel build specifications, lateral deviation for the front wheel, I was able to get 0.4 millimeters and 0.2 millimeters for the rear. Anything under, say, 1 millimeter is considered to be very much acceptable. So that tolerance is very tight. Radial deviation was 0.9 millimeters for the front and 0.4 millimeters for the rear. Generally considered to be less important than lateral deviation, but again, anything under a millimeter is definitely acceptable. I focused a lot on spoke tension, reducing the deviation as much as possible, and was able to get it within 10% for the rear and somewhere between 5 and 10% for the front, probably closer to 5%. So that was a really, really tight build. So overall, really happy with how these wheels turned out, and obviously looking forward to giving them a ride, and I'll post something on the channel, my review of the ride quality of these wheels once the weather gets nicer and I can get them out. But yeah, given what I see in terms of the price for the components, especially the rims, the quality of the rims, and how easy they were to build out, and also the weight of them, I think they're pretty hard to beat, and I would definitely buy another pair of Light Bicycle rims. May even try some other Chinese direct-to-consumer rims, but I think these are pretty tough to beat. Until next time, have a good ride.